dun, bum, ba-dum, bum, dun, 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 bum. That's my new intro. Anyone heard of that? All right, guys. So, week update. It is 2/18, 2022. Just got back in the country. I spent the last 3 days with Chris Stowe over in Cancun. He was running a workshop for EO. It's Entrepreneurs Organization, which is a really cool experience because for you to be a member of EO, your business has to be doing over $1 million a year for you to be part of the group. So this event was for the influencers within EO itself. So I got to spend time with Chris Stowe, but then also along with other 17 millionaires, and definitely felt like the small fish in the room, which is a kind of really good feeling. Just to kind of reflect on that, you hear the saying of "Don't be the smartest person in the room," and I definitely did not feel that way. But just a great learning experience, hearing about different people's businesses and from all over the world, learning things about how other entrepreneurs have to run their business in other countries. For an example, if you're an entrepreneur in Australia, if you start a business and the business fails, you're not allowed to start another business for 5 years, which I thought that was crazy. But workshop was good. Chris did two talks. I was there filming content for him, taking photos, did some video, and then just really helping wherever I could. Some things would come up regarding video. I would jump in, try to help and give any advice when it's possible. And then in between that, I got to spend some time with Chris, and we did some coaching sessions here and there. And just some things that he told me. So first thing he really relied on me is that I need to raise my rates. He's like, I need to start charging at least $10,000 for a project, and that's not just to help me, but it's really to help my clients to be able to give them, necessarily what they need. And then something he relied on me or relayed on me is that sometimes clients come to us needing a video, but it's not necessarily what they need, and that's something that we all know, but it's just part of something that we don't always think about because we're always just so like keen on just producing a video for the client, and that's like as far as it goes. So one thing he told me is make your client's life easier. He's like, with anything that you could do, make your client's life easier, they're gonna come back and use you. And he's like, and he told me it's really hard for you to make your client's life easier when you're not charging enough, because when a client needs those extra visions, when a client needs you to come back and shoot other things, you're not willing and wanting to go do the extra miles because they're not paying you to go the extra mile. So not charging enough, you're not only doing the service to yourself, but you're also doing the service to your client. So he could really kind of put that into perspective for me. And then the other thing he said is to anticipate your client's needs. He's like, with video, he's like, video should just be the entryway for for me to get my foot in the door with the client. But I really need to start anticipating what is it that my clients need? What is it that they're gonna need along the side of this video? Because eventually they're always trying to reach a bigger goal than just a video. So the more I could do to help them reach those goals, the more they're gonna be able to use me, the more I'm gonna be able to grow my business. Let me look at some other notes. So another thing he says is, a lot of time with video, it says we sell the sizzle, but not the steak. And I guess that comes down to like the results, right? Because you can make a really pretty video, but doesn't necessarily always relay on results. So he says you need to sell the sizzle and the steak. And I think that was really referring to making sure that the video works for my clients in the situation. It's like, hey, if they're why they're producing this video, what can you do to your full extent to make sure that that video is a success? That is going to ensure that that client's going to be able to use you and to keep your business going. And that was kind of just a reoccurring theme that happened. So throughout this whole thing of being there with Chris, which is still a little intimidating. It's like I'm hanging out with Chris though, right? So it's just like, and I already asked him. I feel like I already asked him every question that I could possibly ask him, and just not executing on those things. But also being around multimillionaires. So it was very hard for me at first just to kind of like get in the flow of talking to people. Like, I don't have a problem talking to people in the sense of like, people want to ask about business stuff, but when you're making, $180,000, and that's not gross. With to people that are making multi-million dollars, you're like, what is it that I have to, ask these people? What can I provide of value to them? So I really got in my own head at times when I first got there, but then eventually just talking to them, they were just other regular people that have everyday problems just like we do, in a sense of like they have issues running their own business, they have issues doing their own marketing. But the biggest thing that I learned, because what I ended up doing, I started asking them two questions. I was like, what's one advice you give to an up and coming entrepreneur? And they'll give me their answer. And then the second part would be, what's the biggest obstacle that you're facing right now in your business? And the one of the common theme that I got from a lot of them is that a lot of them just solve the business problem for someone that no one else was solving. Like one of the ladies I met, she's from Australia. They call it a dirt boss. She has one of the largest trucking companies in Australia, and that's something that just happened by accident. That she heard somebody talking about it. She ended up buying a truck, and then eventually kept buying more trucks, more trucks, more trucks, and literally had no competition. She's been doing this for I think 16 years now, and she's about to retire at like the age of like 50, a multimillionaire. She's like telling me how she's gonna go to Italy for her sabbatical and just figure out what she wants to do. But she just told me just like solve a problem that no one else is solving, and that's how she became rich. And I heard this from a lot of different people. Um, Another big thing that I heard and something I struggle with is delegate. A lot of them took a really long time, and that's something that they talked about that they regretted the most, is waiting so long to delegate, to actually hire somebody to do the tasks for them that they thought only they could do. And I think we all go through that. And it's a really big problem for us to do this, especially when we're not charging enough money. So delegating was a huge thing, and a lot of them, when they started delegating, it said it was one of those situations that like they kind of forced themselves to. And I've gotten better delegating with all the traveling that I do, because when I travel, I can't be home to actually work in these projects. So I had to start delegating. I had to start leaning more on my team for what can they do for me? What can I just connect the dots for to make it happen? And they're just telling me like do that at scale, so like solve that problem and then do that at scale. And you hear this all the time. Like the wealthy people do not trade money for time. They'll trade their time for money. Is that right? I always get these wrong. Pretty much they will give up money for their time back because they're able to make more money. And that was like another recurring theme of just what I heard. And it's the normal stuff. Like when people are zigging, zag, don't when somebody's doing something, do something totally opposite. You just gotta stand out and don't hesitate. A lot of us wait really long time to get started to actually do things. Uh, Sadly, hiring people in LA is more challenging. It could be, man, but I feel like there a lot of people won't work too. But yeah, don't hesitate. A lot of them said that they waited too long to start their business when they should have done it earlier. And I think there's a period of time, and I think I experienced this too. I think in my 2 years of starting my business here in South Florida, my competition was very little into the retrospect of what I was offering to clients. At that time, I was very like bottom of the tier in the sense of pricing versus what the bigger production companies, like us, producing $1,000 to $3,000 videos when everybody else is producing $15,000 to $20,000 videos. Now the amount of people in South Florida that produce $1 to $5,000 videos, it's a huge number of people. So the competition got bigger. So I took a really long time to actually try to grow my team, and I was always trying to do things on myself, and that slowed my own growth. Now, not only because now I'm older, but then also there's more people in my market. So if you have an idea, write it down. Like Chris, like literally the whole time we were there, he had his little notebook with him, and ideas would come, and he would just write them down. And everywhere we would go, he would just write them down. So that was something else that I'm going to start doing. It's just like, because sometimes you have these great ideas, and we just don't write them down. So I ended up downloading Google app. If you guys use Google, I highly recommend it. I love it because with um with Gmail, a lot of all these the Google Drive, all that integrates, but I have a app called Tasks that I don't know if I remember. Yeah, so Tasks, I could just create tasks or pretty much little reminders throughout the day of things I need to do. That has really helped me this week just to stay on track. Um, and then we did a little bit of copywriting throughout the workshop. And then something else that they came up was always think from the lens of the person that you're writing to. So this is really just came down to like copy and just communication to we did a couple different exercises, and it's really right to the person in the sense of like what is the problem that you're really trying to solve for them, and write the copy as they would read it for themselves. Not so much like about us bragging about is it what we do, but really is like how is this person's life going to be better after reading or pretty much working with you. Um, what would somebody need? Not just a video. Yeah, and that's something else. Like, what is it that they need? Not just a video, because I think we always think video is the answer for everything, but it's more along the lines of what is it that they actually need. So what else happened this week? Close really. We've been working on a project. I've been hiring animators off Fiverr, and they've been very profitable for me. So we're working with a couple different companies, and I've spent a lot of time just doing. I'm spending my own money hiring and giving test projects to these animators on Fiverr, and the ones that have been good, I've been using them for client projects, and we're talking about like 75 to 90% markup on profit. And that's something that Chris was telling me is that when he was in production still, that his most profitable jobs, he'll charge like $100,000 for something, and like it would be between $5 to $10,000 to actually produce it. But because we are the creatives closer to the creators, but they're also the creators closer to the business owners, we're that middle person. We're taking on all that risk. We're able to delegate the price that we want. So, and just be very client centric, in a sense of like giving them what they need, making sure that they are happy, making sure that they're successful. That's one of those things that is really going to help elevate your business. You want to make sure that these people are going to be your biggest advocates. So those are kind of like the biggest takeaways I got from spending, the 3 days there. And also I got to like network with like really rich people and just different opportunities just to connect with them. One person is talking about flying me to Africa, that they have some resorts there that they will want some like video content for, and just be able to connect with other entrepreneurs in like Texas and stuff like that have these bigger agencies that are looking for like a video partner. So the whole your network is your net worth, like that is real, because it's the easiest way for you to actually really grow. So start thinking about where are places that the rich are hanging out at. And I forgot, I think the guy's name is Jesse something, but he's like always, he like did a lot of stuff like Def Jam and stuff like that in the beginning. But I remember him talking about that when he was getting started, this is like in the 90s or something, that he would go out and hang out in Hollywood and like Beverly Hills, and he would go eat like a $10 salad every day at this fancy hotel, because he knew that that's where all like the celebrities and all the like music VPs are all hanging out at or staying when they came to Los Angeles. And he would be eating there every day, and he realized that he didn't have to stay at the hotel to meet these people, but every day he would go there and eat an $8 to $10 salad just to be seen every day and start making the connections with those people. So, and that opened up a lot of doors and opportunities for him. So start thinking that here's the reason why, like when you see rich people playing, like when you hear the saying about like business gets done on the golf course, like that is real. When you see people going out cycling, that is real. So figure out where can you start hanging out at to level up your network, because that's gonna be one of the easiest way for you to really grow and expand your business. Because business owners, they're spending money to be out there and to be seen. They're gonna be spending money on their business. So like, for you to charge $2,000 or $5,000 for a video, like that's nothing for them. So like, now we're talking about, we just closed our first $10,000 project for this year, just last week, and that was me networking, connecting with, a CEO of a business, So like it's a lot easier. And the experience right now working with them compared to working with other clients, it's like night and day. Like talking about somebody that's so appreciative of what you're doing, someone that is like so grateful that, but we're very with me in my business, like a client emails me, I'm responding within like an hour. If I'm telling them I'm gonna get them changes, I'm gonna like if I'm telling them it's Friday, I'm gonna try to get them to them Wednesday. So like I try to be faster than everybody else that they work with, and that's a constant thing I hear from all my clients is that they love how responsive we are. So that's something that I know a lot of people don't do because I've been in a situation where I've hired other creatives, and I'm like hitting you up asking somebody for a quote, and they're taking 2 days to get back to me. To me, why am I gonna want to hire you? Because this is a situation. If I hire you, you're really bad at communicating with me. When I have to communicate with you and then my client, you're gonna make my life hell. I'm gonna find somebody else that's responsive. So, like, guys, please be responsive when your clients are reaching out to you. Be on top of that. Um, Something else that happened, which is funny, weird, and like exciting. I had my first viral post that's happening right now, and it was one of those things that just trying trends. So if you guys don't know about like trending audio on Reels, it's the one you see like a little arrow going up. If you see one of those videos and you could think of something you could do, try it out. So I did a video for it's literally like if you me. Call me today and I didn't pick up, call me tomorrow. I'm still not gonna pick up, but I always like to encourage people to never quit on anything. Peace. So this video is currently at 376,000 views, and it has where is it? It has 9,700 likes and 71 comments. And what's up, Evolution Uniforms in the house? If you guys ever need merch, I get all my stuff from him. Gustavo is the man. Like Nike fitted shirts for your business, hats. He's my guy. But I tried this video. Didn't expect anything of it. It took off. 376,000 views. I did another one just a couple of days before, and that's where I kind of got inspired by it. But it was one of the ones with the desk. Right now, no cheating. I'm tired of seeing all these super RGB setups. So like, this one did about 40,000, 42,000 views, and it's just a video that I just I saw the trend and I tried it. So like, stay up on that because this is something else that like I now see these trends and I forward them to my clients or possible people that I want to work with. I'm like, yo, like this trend is happening. You should try this. Might be able to get a lot of reach for you. So always stay in tune to those things. Just because like that's also another great reason for you to reach out to your clients is when you actually have something to offer to them, even though it has no value to you. In a sense, like me hitting up, like I see real estate videos with trends. I send it to all my real estate clients for them to do ideas. They normally don't do any of them, but at least it shows my clients that like, hey, this guy's thinking about my well-being. He's like doing my benefit. And that's the same thing. I was doing research, as you guys know, for like a bunch of sales stuff, and I found this book that it's a sales book for realtors. So one of my best clients last year, Talia, I saw this book had really great reviews. I bought 2 copies. One already gave to her. The other one I just have an extra copy just to have here. But she was like, "Yo, thank you so much." Like none of my other vendors do that kind of stuff. So like, what can you start doing to stand out to your clients? Like, what are you doing that benefits them? Like, spend a little bit of money on your clients. I don't think enough people do that. You know, I think that's really key. So something else I learned about this whole post going viral is that it honestly like kind of dumbed down Instagram for me, just because like every day, like every day, I'm just getting constant notifications about the likes, but it has no value. Like my account is growing slowly, but for the wrong reason. So like the cloud of it was cool initially, but now it's to the point that I'm just like, okay, great. I have a video with 376,000 views. What can I do with it? And I've tried to replicate that video, and I haven't been successful. Like I posted a couple different videos with trending audios, and I've gotten like 2,200 views, 1,300 views. So it's one thing when you're able to do that constantly and repeat it. And this is where like you constantly want to be trying things just to see what works and what doesn't, because there's a lot of different things that play out to it. So it's like either I got really lucky being early with the song, I got really lucky with the fact that like it was just a cool clip, right? It was like coffee walking up, you saw the pool, you saw the beach, you saw like beautiful views, or was it some of the hashtags that I use? So there's a lot of different elements to go into it, and the best way for me to find out is to keep testing and keep trying. Um, so I think that was really it with that. Um, yeah. So next week, I have a shoot. I'm gonna be in Orlando this weekend filming with Alex. I think Alex is right there, Alex Miner. He's gonna be helping me out, and like just part of the community here. It's just like Alex heard me last week talking about coming to Orlando. He reached out to me, and now we're gonna be working together. So like it's always cool to be able to connect. And he's probably gonna be the fourth person I've connected with through YouTube that I'm actually getting to work with. And this is no different than how I got connected with Chris Doe. I reached out to Chris initially. I ended up downloaded one of his videos from YouTube and made an edit for him. And that's how like I started getting on Chris's radar. But it's one of those things, guys. If you want to get to someone nowadays, if you want to grow, the fastest way to do it is to get a mentor. But it's like, what can you do for them? So like with Chris, me going out to Cancun the past 3 days, I paid for myself to get out there. I didn't get paid to be out there. I did all that for free. So I did that on my own dime, and I did that on my own expense of like not working on projects. But what's the long-term opportunity of being in a room with 17 millionaires and get to spend 3 days with Chris Doe? That is way more worth than anything else I was going to do with those 3 days. So I always see people either looking to get opportunities, but then always seeing like what's in it for them, or like how much are they going to get paid. And just think to yourself, like, is the experience I'm gonna get worth more than what I would be paying for? So I think that's where a lot of people fail and or come up. Like I think that's one of the things that has led me to be successful. Is a lot of my best learning experiences have been from me reaching out to people they're doing way more than me, and just being humble and be like, yo, I want to come and work on your set. I want to do this for free. I just want to get my foot in your door. That's going to lead to a lot more opportunities. Now, I'm not saying like go do this for like everybody. So like you got to be strategical about this, but like create opportunities for yourself. Um, I think that's it. Let me see right here. Uniform you for the experience you have paid you more. I mean the place we stayed at. So Alex said if they had charged you for that experience, you have paid way more. Correct, because I would have to be part of the EO organization, which I'm not a millionaire, so I couldn't do that. The hotel we were staying at, I looked up the rooms; they're like $1,200 a night. Um, you know, Coaching sessions with Chris, like getting one-on-ones with him, he charges $1,000 an hour. So like that itself, you know what I mean? You were talking about possibly like $10,000. And I got to do that for free because I put myself out there. I made myself available. I over delivered. The second day, while Chris was still like doing a workshop, I was delivering the photos from the first day because I wanted him to be able to have content to provide to his client. So Chris is there working for his client. I wanted to make Chris look good. You know what I mean? And now we're talking about doing other trips for this organization. And that's just me putting myself out there, creating opportunities for myself. Hey, Rodrigo, are you in any video marketing Facebook groups? I am not in any groups. The only group I'm part of right now is the Future Pro group. I have considered creating my own Facebook group, but just things right now. I've just been like, I went from being like not busy at all to like booked up for the rest of this month and like half of next month already. So it's just like adding more things on. I'm saying no to a lot of things this year just because that's what I've learned that successful people do. Successful people say no to a lot of things. So I'm gonna end on that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're still here watching, hit the like button for me. You got two likes right now. So appreciate you guys. And then I'll see you guys next Friday. Have a good one.